Welcome back. I'm a little bushed. I've been up since about 12:30, wide awake. Was on the road by 1:45 and got home at about 2:30 this afternoon. So it's been a bit of a day. It's been a busy day. Had a lot of interesting conversations. Um, People are waking up, folks. They're just waking up, and some of some of them are a little nervous, and I don't blame them. They should be. They should be. Reality is setting in, and they're beginning to panic a little bit. So I went in, sat down, and was going to kick my boots off, and thought I would check my messages, and saw a video from Heavy Metal Homestead, where she's talking about the price of grain and having to cut back her flock, right? That's happening to a lot of people, folks. That's happening to a lot of us. So when I got home, I dug out everything to process my birds this week, some of them, and got everything out to throw them in the canner, right? So weather pending, because I do my canning outside. Weather pending. It's not gonna matter about this time of year if it's below 50, but the wind is going to be a little difficult maybe to keep that temperature steady. But I can block that. While others are culling their flock or thinning their flock, others are getting birds, right? Now, some people are getting birds for the first time, and they've done some research. Hopefully they've done some research, right? So hopefully they can have some birds and be able to afford their feed, or be able to at least get their feed, right? So heard a lot of conversations throughout the day that people are starting to panic a little bit. Even the people that weren't awake are waking up, and the reality is hitting them right square in the jaw. So they're a little behind on trying to get ahead, right? So for those of you who are new to this channel, and maybe this is the first video that you have seen, I am inside, almost directly underneath the center of my monster pole bean trellis. It's a pretty big trellis, but I'm going to make good use of it, right? It's going to have multi-purpose. It's going to grow pole beans all the way around, and behind me I've got bee balm and mint underneath. And I'm going to take my hops, and I need to thin them out. They're just getting out of control on the south side, and it should be good. It should be good. And in the center here, I'll put a chair, maybe a small table, and I'll come and sit in the shade when I'm taking a break and need to cool down from inside the garden, right? But folks, people are waking up and they're starting to panic. But the people that live on fixed incomes are really struggling. So I stopped in to the grocery store that I like to shop at. They used to have a lot of 10 for 10 deals. There's no 10 for 10 deals anymore, folks. They did have 10 for 10 on tuna, but somebody had wiped them completely out, and the sale started yesterday, folks. It's completely wiped out. So every single thing has gone up in price, and some of it has doubled, folks. So the prices are just doubling in a lot of instances. And you remember when payday came around, or the next, or after a holiday or whatnot, you see people rounding their carts right up, right? Or at least a moderate size, at least they filled the bottom of their cart, right? People aren't doing that. I never saw one cart that had their bottom of the cart filled, folks. Not one. A lot of looking, a lot of pondering, a lot of grumbling. I heard a lot of grumbling. Now, Tuesdays is Seniors Day, where they get a 5% discount. And so mostly seniors were in there. And I qualify for that, folks. If you have to be 55 and older, I qualify for that. So, I'm a senior discount now. Wow. So, I really don't have much to say other than things are looking pretty bleak. And a lot of the channels, the YouTube channels that I used to listen to, I don't listen to them anymore. They're too dramatic, and they're almost fear-mongering, and they're doing catchy titles to make it sound all dramatic and worrisome. The new lingo out there is insider information, or just revealed, or whatever. And it's eye-catching. They're getting a lot of views, which is good for them. But the drama, folks, the drama. We don't need any more drama. We don't. You can get the word out there. You can get the information out there without fear-mongering. Okay? Now, I could put catchy titles on this, but I'm not going to mislead, and I'm not going to be dramatic, and I am not going to add more panic to what's out there. So I'd rather be a boring channel. I'd rather be boring and let it lead where it may. But some people are just making money off from the situation. That's all I'm going to say about that. It is all I'm going to say about that. Now, we all know things aren't good at all, right? Gas prices are still going up. You're still not getting much for your money, right? Parts, I've seen a lot of out of business sales, closing sales, and people are just, they're not, the small companies just aren't making it anymore. The small businesses are suffering, and that's the plan, right? That's the plan. So for those of us that have been awake for a little bit, we can see this, we can predict that it's coming, right? But it's coming way faster than a lot of us thought. Well, it's coming faster than I thought. It's like every single day there's something new. There's something else happening, and it's never good news, right? It's just never good news, folks. So I'm going to say it again. We can worry about this. We can worry about that. But we can't change anything, right? The only thing we have control over, folks, is ourselves and our surroundings. So we need to keep doing what we've been doing. Try to self-sustain. Try to learn new skills, right? Now, I know some of my gardening videos are really boring to a lot of people. I understand that. But this is a learning channel. It's also my opinion channel, but I've been slacking off on that. And a lot of people want more prepping and news information. I'm not going to give news information. There's a lot of other channels out there that are doing that. I don't have time to check the stats on this and read all these articles. When it's daylight, I'm out the door and I'm in my garden or I'm doing something, right? So you can go to those channels if you want current, up-to-date news. There's channels out there that are a little fear-mongering, and that's very disappointing. That's very disappointing to me. So, my channels aren't light and fluffy either. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it realistic. I'm going to keep it true to what I live, and this is what I live, standing in front of inside of a teepee in a garden that is in progress, trying to grow food and trying to get rid of some birds so I can afford to feed the ones that I'm going to keep, right? And it's just me, a middle-aged single woman living off grid, kind of primitively, no running water, no electric, no solar. Hauling my water, firewood, and it's just who I am. I live a very simple life, I'm a very hard worker. I have a strong drive to get what I want, and I aspire for new things and achievements every single day, folks, every single day, because, even if the world ended tomorrow, my priorities end when my life ends. So we can't, if we find it overwhelming and we just give up, then we're giving up on ourselves, right? And we can't do that. We can't do that. We've got to be our own iron pipe that stands strong and withstands everything, the heat, the wind, the cold. We just have to push on, folks. We have to find that drive to push on and to find some hope in this real messed up world that isn't looking good for our future. Not near future, right? Who knows what's going to happen? We don't know. We have no control over that. So don't lose sleep, folks, over what you can't control. Steadfast in what you need to do, what you need to accomplish, and look for those weak areas and see how you can do that, and how you can get the materials for what you may need down the road. Because whether there's electricity or not, whether there's a tomorrow or not, we still have to live, right? We still have to live right up until we take our last breath. So don't waste your time. Don't waste your worry. Just live, folks. Live. Plan. Try to look ahead as far as you can. Try to plan ahead as far as you can. And just move forward. Just move forward, folks. Now, I may be stressing this, and maybe it's something I need to tell myself. Maybe it isn't. I think I've got a handle on what I need to do. I think. Doesn't mean I'm prepared. I am not prepared, folks. But just by the nature of how I live every single day here, I'm more prepared than a lot of folks who do not live this way. If the power was cut for whatever reason, folks, I already live without electricity. I already live without running water, right? So I'm ahead a little bit as far as that goes, right? So, and I'm not bragging and I'm not boasting. I'm not doing any of that because I don't believe in doing that. But I'm just saying, if you live a pretty much self-sustaining life as much as you can, okay, it's pretty hard to be fully self-sustained, and then you're going to be a little bit better off than someone who is dependent on the grid and stores and all that stuff, right? So tonight I came home and I checked my garden, and the geese, don't ever let anybody tell you that geese are harmless to your garden, folks. They stepped on 2 of my kabocha squash plants, flattened them right out. They've been eating some of the kale, they've been eating some of the turnip, they've been eating some of the beets. So I had to block off the gate to my garden tonight. And that's okay, that's alright. They're not going to like it, but it's going to be a pain in the butt for me to get in and out. but that's all right. That's all right. I'd rather have the food than and be inconvenienced right now, right? So, and then again, you can be convenienced and not have food, or you can be inconvenienced and get food, right? And that's where I am. I can inconvenience myself to ensure that I have some food. So anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming back. And maybe a little bit down the road, the pole beans will be up. It'll be nice and shady in here, and you can see what it looks like in a monster uh, pole bean trellis. Anyway, good night, folks. I've got to go in and go to bed. So thank you for coming back, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.